Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. Was good. Welcome to today's Sunday roundup. It's been a crazy busy week. Some would even say that it's been, a tad insane. Yeah, it has been. It absolutely has been. Excuse me. Let's see. Yep, got to do that. Let's get to the notes. Actually, I want to bring something else up. That chat thing that I have. Yeah. So this past week, what have we seen? Geopolitical risks and regulatory enforcement, cybersecurity and data breaches, massive ones, institutional adoption and corporate treasury strategies, regulatory and legal developments, technological upgrades and infrastructure development, market manipulation and exploitation, payment and CBDC initiatives, societal and ethical concerns, as well as macroeconomic events. It has not been small. And Mr. Big, good day to you. Thank you for letting me know that you invested in yourself, as always. As well, I'd be interested to know, what color are they? I just want to know, because when my girls used to do it to me, my kids, I don't have grandkids yet, they'd be like whatever color they felt like, whatever colors they felt like throwing on. So yeah, I understand where you're at, man. I understand where you're at. But we had some massive stuff go on. We had a Wells Fargo executive, that's right, this week. Wells Fargo executive still detained. Sanctions still going on between U.S., China, obviously North Korea, and the rest of the world. Big events going on between India and the United States. That has not been good, the relationship there. There's been a lot more going on there. I think the real reason for the tariff hit was because, well, that's actually a political statement, so I'm not going to say it. But let's just say there have been tensions between the United States and India, not over anything other than somebody's feelings. That's right. Sunday afternoon, I'm enjoying some Mike's Hard Lemonade. And having a good day. Having a massively good day. I don't know if I told you guys. I think I did on Friday. We built a chat bot. That is a financial analyst agent, a financial analysis agent. And we've been playing with that like for the past few days, seeing if we can get it to work the way we want it to work, asking it questions about the stock market, about businesses, just all kinds of things regarding investing. And it's been working really well. And some people might say, excuse me, but why would you create that agent? You just go to ChatGPT. There are other analyses that you're not going to get from ChatGPT that this agent specializes in. Like, I don't know, looking over the MACD chart, analyzing other data and giving you a sentiment analysis. So there are some really cool things. But I also wanted to do it to kind of demonstrate to people that, excuse me, the idea of a financial planner. Now, financial analysis is different, but the fact that we can can this and we can do it ourselves kind of says to me the idea of a financial advisor. I think those days are numbered. Those days are seriously numbered because wow. There's a lot that we can do with the information that we're getting from this bot. Right. And like I said, some of the information you actually can get from Chad. We call ChatGPT Chad. But you're not going to get everything. You're not going to get everything from there. So you kind of need a specialist, the same way you have paralegals, attorneys, doctors, nurses, accountants, bookkeepers. You have different people that do different things. But I literally wanted to see how easy it was to put one of them, into a chatbot. Wow. Right. Something that I wanted to touch on real quick before we go over, review the news that we've touched on, is it's not going to it's not going to be that necessarily that AI will take your job. It's that AI can take your tasks. Think about that for a minute. So for a project manager, setting up meetings, taking meeting minutes, distilling information, that kind of stuff, I can put all of that into a freaking box. Want to create a project plan? I can put that into a box. So things are going to change tremendously. So I take away some of your tasks. Imagine you've got 40 hours, okay? 40 hours in a week, and I take away 25% of your tasks. 25% of your tasks. Wow, you're down to 30 hours now. Now, let's pretend that I've got 5 people on staff, 40 hours each, I take away 20%. That's a whole 40 hours gone. Or even 4 people. Let's do it easier. 4 people, 40 hours a week, I take away 25% of their tasks. Do the math. I only need 3 people now. The sad part is that most companies are thinking about artificial intelligence and automation as a way to cut costs and not as a way to expand. Let that wash over you for a minute. I've got all these people. Hey, Paula, thank you for letting me know that you actually invested in yourself today. Greatly appreciate that. Now, imagine I've got 4 people and all of a sudden I only have enough work for 3 of them. I can afford to continue paying the 4th person. That 4th person is free. Holy moly. I can do more work with that 4th person now. So if I want to expand my business, I now have the ability to do so without another hire and without firing somebody. I can rethink what's going on. We consulted a company once and we said the first thing that we need to do is understand the skills that each one of your people have, then the tasks that exist within your organization. Not by title, by task. What tasks are there? Titles don't matter. Forget the titles. Throw the titles out the window. Let's just look at it like that, without titles. We came back with, wow, you should probably retitle a whole bunch of people because what you originally hired them for is not what they're doing. Not that they're not doing their job. It's just that their job has morphed into this. And the title that you gave them is antiquated. Businesses should start rethinking how they can leverage their people. We implemented artificial intelligence and automation at all of our companies. We are not firing anybody. We're not firing anybody. Why is that? Lex Luthor in the house. Thank you for letting me know you invested in yourself. Because we can expand. That's why. I can upskill each one of my people. I could actually say I have enough for 4 people. I have enough work for 3 people. I can spread that across 4 people and upskill all 4 of those people. So now they're each stronger. They're each capable of doing more. Within the same amount of time, no less. Not working overtime, being stressed. Nah. So it all comes down to, how is your organization going to implement this technology? Are they only looking at it from a cost savings, cost avoidance perspective? Or are they looking at it from a growth perspective? Does my company get stronger by implementing these new technologies? So that's what we're trying to get companies to do. Now, some companies, they're in distress. They need to actually cut costs. It's unfortunate, but it happens. but they can still do more. And that's what we try to find. We're not big on firing people for the sake of firing people. That's not what we're all about. If I can upskill a staff, make that staff stronger, makes that company stronger, and can help that company make more money. That's the whole idea. Not all the companies are near bankruptcy. Not all the companies are near bankruptcy. They're panicked. The volatility that exists right now is no joke. They're panicked. And I can't really blame them. Excuse me. So you've got a certain level of volatility, right? And the level of volatility that you're dealing with are things like, we don't know how the tariffs are going to affect us. We don't know. Even if you drop the interest rates, tariffs are still, I'm paying a tax already. Tariffs are taxes on people in this country. I don't care what anybody tells you. Don't get it twisted. Right? And those are some of the things that happened over the past week that we have to turn around and look at. Inflation up. We're expecting more job cuts. Commerce is not flowing as it did just a few months ago. Oh, didn't know? That's right. A lot of countries are not shipping anything here because they don't know how they're going to get paid, who's going to pay them, how that's going to work. Yeah. That whole wiping out of de minimis is a huge, big deal. Huge. $800 and less, you didn't have to worry about anything, and now you do. It's going to change a whole bunch of businesses. It's going to wreck a whole bunch of businesses. The other day I told you it's not going to just be small businesses. We're talking about Amazon shipping and handling logistics for a whole bunch of small businesses. Guess what? Those small businesses are going to feel it. Amazon's going to feel it. Same situation for Walmart. Same situation for Etsy. Same situation for eBay. Want to hear about a company that's directly going to feel it? Lululemon. Ouch. Yeah, they basically have everything shipped to Mexico, and they transport back and forth between Mexico because de minimis was in effect. Now it's like, oh, what are we going to do now? How's that going to work? So there are a lot of things that are going to change very quickly over the next week and a half, 2 weeks. Some companies, you're not going to see the impact of all those tariffs until really next quarter, because it's only going to be the last month of this quarter that all this stuff is going to kick in. And they might be able to push that back a little bit so the quarter still looks good, and then not show anything until next year for October, November, December. It's going to be big. So we can get some really positive information. We can get some really positive moves on ETFs moving forward. Thus far, they just been kicking the can down the road. We can get a whole bunch of news like that. We need more good news. We need like a barrel full of good news for everything to just pop up. That's literally what we need. And, things are kind of shaping up like, I told you before, when they started kicking the can down the road for all of these ETFs, I told you before, I thought it was market manipulation, because there's no reason to be holding on to these ETFs. If you're so crypto happy, why are we waiting for these ETFs? Yes, we understand you've got Project Crypto at the SEC. You've got moves and machinations by the CFTC to kind of align itself with Project Crypto. Excuse me. But what have we seen? Right? I mean, everything's happening behind closed doors. If you want to keep positivity, in everybody's heads, you kind of got to let us know what's going on. What are you doing? How are you doing it? Give us a roadmap. We haven't gotten anything from the SEC except a whole bunch of yap yap. Not much from the CFTC either, except for one thing. CFTC wants to reinstate allowing people in the United States to have accounts on foreign centralized exchanges. Why? Seriously, I just want to know why. Because it seems to me the people that would win the most from that are going to be the people up here, not really the people down here. So I'm just seeing what the story is. Let me change this. It always starts off at top chat, and I really wanted to start off with live chat, and it's annoying. So yeah, we're just waiting for people to kind of kick in. Okay, so we're going to delete that because that's a political statement. We don't do politics here. Actually, let me send a note. Can you delete? Okay, you already did. That's cool. That works. So there's just a lot of stuff going on. Now, the healthcare sector suffered a 5.4 million record data breach. 5.4 million records. Social security numbers, a whole bunch of stuff. Now, I want you guys to be awake. If you're in the United States and you receive a phone call, do not give out your personal information no matter who's calling you, because it could be a scam. Don't give out your social security number, because they might even call you, tell you what your social security number is, and try to get you to repeat it back. You want to know why? Because then they would have a recording of you saying your social security number. So not only would they get the voice sample, but they would get you saying your social security number, and then they'd be able to do a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, we don't want that. So be careful out there, please. There was a flash loan exploit at Resupply Protocol for $9.5 million. That was stolen, obviously. Crypto exchange hacks in Turkey. Wow, over the past week. Like literally, everything that I'm talking about is only over the past week. I think it's like something like 87 articles or something like that. That's nuts. Nope, 91. All right, so 91 articles. So it's a big deal. Then you had the United States government. Thank you, Mr. Big. Yeah, the United States government say we're going to use Pith and Chainlink to put data on there. Wow. I told you the number 1 and number 2 oracles in the world. Number 1 is definitely Chainlink. Number 2 is arguably Pith. So if this is something you want to do, you can't just put it on one. So you're going to do 2. And they chose the 2, and Pith took off. Chainlink didn't do jack, but Pith did the 3x. Sadly, I was not. Am I holding any Pith? I might be holding a tiny bag of Pith from way back. I might be holding a tiny bag. Tiny. If I'm holding anything, it's a tiny bag. But I know it's not big, so I didn't bother to look to see if it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. But you know what that did for Pith? Puts Pith on a serious roadmap, doesn't it? Puts Pith on that serious roadmap, doesn't it? So now Pith is not necessarily from size or anything else on par with Chainlink, but it's recognized on par with Chainlink. Nope, I definitely didn't get involved with that. Absolutely not. I refuse to have my money mixed with their money. Nope. So don't care. So yeah, there was a lot that's going on over the past week that would make you just go, holy crap. One of the reasons why I take time on Sundays to turn around and look at the previous week is because of this. I dropped 91 articles. There's a whole bunch of news that I forgot about. I mean, the U.S. Congress passed a law or passed a bill banning a Fed CBDC. Wow. Enrique, thank you for letting me know that you invest in yourself. Greatly appreciate that. That's a wow. That's a big wow. Crime groups use social engineering and identity theft to steal hundreds of millions in crypto, which is why I gave you that warning. Right? You have a lot of scams coming out. Somebody's calling you from a number you don't recognize. You know what I do? I answer it and I hang up. So that they get no sound. It clicks and hangs up. That's it. I don't even say hello. I don't recognize the number. Nope. Good luck with that. Oh, I answer in a funny voice, so you don't actually get my voice. Yep. And sometimes you'll get somebody because you're waiting to see if it's a human being or if it's a machine. You know what they're doing now? They're clearing they have the machine clear its throat. They go, and you think it's a human being. Oh, so you go, oh, hello, how can I help you? They've got your recording now. It's still a fake. It's a big deal, a very big deal. Christie's launches a luxury real estate crypto division for $65 million deal. Windtree invests $700 million in Bitcoin. Strategy's Bitcoin holdings surpassed 6,000 BTC. Do the math on that one. You had a couple of Japanese firms buy into XRP. That's huge. I mean, we're not talking about something that's, things here that are simple, right? Where is it? I know we had a couple of things happen with XRP over the past week or so. Because I know Ripple had a deal. Oh, that wasn't over the past week. But we had just so much stuff happen. And it's amazing when you stop and you look at everything that's going on just over the past week. Next week, what am I expecting? What's the number one thing that sticks in my craw over the past week? Inflation, PCE. Everybody wants the Fed. Let me take that back. Not everybody wants the Fed to drop rates. Not everybody wants that. You had Waller get out there and start yapping about, oh, I would drop it, a lot. Why did he say that? He said that, well, because the new regime said that. The new regime said that. So that's why he said it. Excuse me, because he's interviewing to become the next Fed chair. Frankly, I don't think he's going to get it. Patiently waiting for XRP to flip ETH and BTC. I want people to stop and think for a minute. Okay? If you notice, Tether flipped XRP just now. Well, not just now, but flipped XRP. I want people to stop and think about, in order for XRP to flip anything, and for any coin to flip another coin, that coin has to move a lot. And it has to move more than the coin that it's flipping. Okay? People tend to look at things and they say things like, oh, this one's going to outperform, blah, 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 blah. Maybe. But don't think that other project is just sitting there doing nothing. That's not what's happening. Got a long way to go for that. I mean, Ethereum right now, 537 billion. I mean, it's not the 2.1 trillion that Bitcoin has, but 538 billion by itself. Tether's at 168, XRP is at 166, BNB is at 120, Solana is at 110. And then everything just falls off a cliff from there. Like USDC is at 71 billion. USDC just goes up, goes up, goes up, goes up, goes up. That's what stable coins do. They just go up. Up, need more stable coins to cover that. Up, need more stable coins to cover that. So they just go up in terms of, market cap. Just saying. XRP is a big play, Enrique. It is a big play. I don't think it'll ever surpass Bitcoin. It's done it before. I don't think it's going to happen again. Bitcoin's playing when it happened before, Bitcoin hadn't established itself in the space in which it's established itself now, right? It's in a completely different space, right? Hold a value. That's what it's going to do. It's going to hold value. XRP is transactions. All the other coins are some sort of transaction. Bitcoin is not. Different kind of game. So it's going to gain. It's not going to move the way other coins move. And Ethereum? Yeah, I don't know about that one. XRP at 166, Ethereum at 538. Yeah, I don't know about that. Year to date, Ethereum has outperformed XRP. Is XRP a big game in the future? Yeah, absolutely. Is it going to be bigger than? I can't say absolutely not, but I can definitely say nah. Because it could happen. I just don't believe it will. I'll take the drink if that day arrives. I'll definitely take it. Some sort of Rioja, a red. I like Riojas. So yeah, there's a lot more going on, but this week I'm looking for turbulence. I'm looking for turbulence. Not volatility, turbulence. Shocking moves. Fast. Not volatility. These can still be fast, but they're not blip fast. D Mac into his house. People looking for you. You think in the long run, XRP? I don't think we'll be alive. I don't think we'll be alive at that point. And I really don't think that. I think with everything that goes on other coins, BTC is gonna rise because those other coins are being used to transact value that people are holding in BTC. And thank you for letting me know you invested in yourself. I think XRP is a huge game. I just don't think it's that huge. I don't think it's that huge. Now, there are a couple of things that could prove me wrong, right? It really depends on how the transactions happen for tokenization and for settlements. If they're done in ways that don't move price, well, transactions are going to be normal. Just saying. And if Ethereum gets its acting gear and they figure out, fees and stuff like that for things that are building on Ethereum, it's going to be hard to outmaneuver Ethereum. Maybe, but I don't think we'll be alive when that happens. I think there's going to come a point where Bitcoin I think that if transactions stop happening OTC and more transactions have to come into the light, that's when you're going to see massive movements. That's what I'm thinking. There are coins out there. I mean, if I had to pick a coin that could flip Bitcoin, I would say Ethereum, XRP. I wouldn't say Cardano because it's so far off. It's not even in the running to do so. And when you look at the distance between XRP and Ethereum and XRP and Bitcoin, that's why I keep saying maybe it will happen. Maybe you'll be buying me those drinks in heaven because I don't think it'll happen in our lifetime. Could. I don't have that kind of faith. I really don't. And here's the other thing. I don't care. I don't give a rat's behind if this one flips this one. I don't care. I don't care. I know I'm being an ass right now. Don't think about it like that. Think about it like this. It doesn't matter if this coin flips that coin. You want to know what matters? That the coin rose. I get nothing because this coin flipped that coin. That does nothing for me. It's not even news. It's not going to affect my bag. What affects my bag is the movement of the coin. Oh, the coin's market cap blasted off. So I don't focus on, oh, this coin flipped that coin, this coin flipped that coin. Oh, it must be better than. No, I don't think about that. I don't think about that at all. If I see it in the news, I know other people might be interested, so I'll cover it. But I don't care. I really don't. I tend to look at things from an infrastructure perspective, from a usage perspective. How's that happening? Ripple's had a few deals that usage is going to go up. That usage is going to go up. So is that big? Yes. I need Cardano to have those kinds of deals. That's what I need. I need Solana to not move based on meme coins or based on, we're going to get an ETF. I'm happy for you that you think you're going to get an ETF. That's great. That's awesome. Who's building? Not who's creating memes. Who's building? People forget Ethereum's got a platform to build on. Let me just go over to the list. There you go. Ethereum's got a platform to build on. BNB obviously has a platform to build on. Solana, you might have a platform to build on, but why? If I had a choice between building on Solana and building on Cardano, I'm building on Cardano. I don't trust Solana. Please tell me how you are, decentralized. They've yet to answer such a question. So yeah, no, I'm not interested. I'm not about it. But I look at all the platforms that people are building on, even the older ones. Optimism, Arbitrum. You have a lot of platforms that have a lot of dApps running on them, and people forget about that. Oh, they're not doing anything. They're sleeping. Blah blah blah. Stop snoring. Stop snoring. They have it going on. There's a lot going on. And over the next week, it's the first week of everybody bringing their butt back to work. Vacations are mostly over. Everybody's going to come back at some point this week. The following week, that's when we're really going to see stuff. That's when we're really going to have everybody back to work. Remote in the office doesn't matter. Everybody's back to work. That right there is going to be a big deal. So this week, I'm not expecting any kind of massive movement. Next week, I'm expecting to see some movement. Hopefully be positive. It's a lousy swing. So what else do we have? Let's see. Nigeria with stablecoin legislation. SEC's ongoing review, delay of multiple crypto ETFs. They keep kicking the can down the road. I don't know that it's a random rotation. What I do know is that people are waking up and going, "Oh yeah." You know what I mean? Like it's like, "Oh yeah. I forgot about that guy. Oh, I can do some work on that guy. Oh, we've already got." That's what I'm looking at. I don't think it's a random rotation. I think people's memories are coming back. The hype crap is the fog of hype is going away, and they're going, "Oh, wait a minute. Optimism, Arbitrum, Aptos, BNB, Ethereum. Oh, I can build on these." Then you have Google coming out with its layer one. I wonder if they want people to build on that. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. JP Morgan with its build on its layer. There are a lot that's going on. I really want to watch the banks. I think the banks are going to hurt. Excuse me. The banks are still crying, we're going to see money outflows because everybody's going to go to crypto stable coins and they're getting higher interest off the stable coins. Yeah. How about you pay that interest? You can. You're too cheap. So instead of changing the game and stepping up your offerings, you want to change the rules so that everything still favors you. Those days are over. Nobody's going for it. So either step up your game or get out of the game. You're not going to slow down the other players. Period. This is how stupid I think banks are in this regard. So stablecoin issuers come out and they become banks, except they're not really banks, right? That's not their primary duty. So now they're banks issuing stablecoins, paying 4 or 5, whatever percent in interest, while banks refuse to change their practices to become competitive in an ever more competitive landscape. What? We've been here longer. We have all these assets under management. We're managing all these people's money. For now, you're managing that money. When people wake up, buy my books, get educated on what it all means, yeah, then you're going to start seeing people go, why am I keeping money in a bank? Why am I keeping money in a bank? That's insane. Nope, not doing it. And that's when they start yanking their money out and realizing I can invest my money myself. Oh, I can invest my money myself. Huh. Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it? That makes sense. That's why I look at people and I just go, people need to wake up. No, it's not retail moving these coins. Not yet. Not yet. You're thinking too deep. I think about my bag. Sol have a lot of peeps that like it. No, I'm not thinking too deep. I'm thinking the way I need to think to manage my bags. I'm not managing your bags. You manage your bags. You have your own risk framework. You have your own processes and parameters by which you invest. So I've got the same on how I manage my bags. I could care less about Sol. I could care less about Sol. My problem with Sol is, I told you guys before, can people make money off of Sol? Yes, absolutely. But I have a problem with Sol because all it takes is one little network problem and Sol's got big issues. You want to know how many people got burned when it went from 200 down to 135 because they had that network issue? Oh, yeah, that's right. They did. I refuse to put myself in that situation again. I was able to claw my way back, made a couple of bucks off of it after a while. But that drop to 135 was painful. I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm not doing that again. Time was on my side. I didn't need the money. I could let it sit. I could just, as my kids say, I could just let it rock. So that's what I did. Didn't look at it. Did not look at it. And then it came back. I made my money. I'm out. I'm done. What really sealed the deal for me was they keep proving that they're not decentralized. I have a problem with that. I have a massive problem with that. So can you make money with it? Sure, you can make money with it. I have other ways that I can make money that don't involve Solana. I hear what you're saying. I get it. But if I'm going to take a chance, there are other projects out there I'd rather take a chance on. But I seem to be my mindset seems to be a bit more long. Hyperliquid, Ondo, the rest of the coins that I have in my holding wallets, not my trading wallets, my holding wallets. So yeah, I'm looking at stuff like that. Now, something that I am paying attention to that happened last week that's probably going to affect us going forward is going to be Pith over the longer term, because now that happened and it jumped, I'm thinking, well, what else can happen? Now that they've been mentioned in a certain way, are they going to have more deals? Are people going to use them more as an oracle? What's the difference between Pith and Chainlink? Chainlink's been around longer. They already have access. Pith has to do the same thing. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I don't know what Yak is. Did you just give away a coin? I'm shocked. You normally don't do that. That's normally a big bagger thing. I'll have to look it up. Not in it to win it. What else is there? Fast and cheap. You think Sol is fast and cheap? Tell me, my gut tells me I'm not allowed to buy Sol. That's my gut for me. For you guys, I still report on Solana. Why? Because I know there are a whole bunch of other people out there that are just like, I don't care. I'm going to make my money. I'm going to make my money off that volatility. I'm not mad about that. It's just not me. I don't listen to my gut. I lose money. No matter what it looks like from the outside, when I don't listen to my gut, I lose money every single time. Every single time. My gut says, nah, you don't want to do that. And then I go and do it anyway. 100% of the time. And I'm not even playing. I'm serious. 100% of the time, I get crushed. So yeah, I'm not. My gut says nah. It's nah. You know what I mean? Everybody's got their own risk framework. Everybody's going to invest the way they want to invest. That's why I keep telling people, develop your risk framework. Develop your risk framework. It's a very big deal. Understand how you invest. You know how many people out there just throw money willy-nilly that they don't understand? They don't try to gain an understanding about how they should invest, being more strategic in their investments. Not one of the people here that are making comments is an off-the-cuff, kind of reactionary person. You all, whether or not you realize it or not, all of you have your own risk frameworks. You have your own parameters of operation, and that's what drives your investment choices. Your gut tells you something feels good, you still do the research. I know because I've asked. So your gut might say something, you still do the research. I'm pretty sure that there's not a coin in certain people's wallets that if I ask them about any one of those coins, that they can't rattle off to me the research that they did. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. That's the GMB3. That's all I ever preach. That's it. There are certain traits among people that really understand, their gut reactions. It's, yeah, my gut says it's a yes. Now I got to convince my head. My head will never convince my gut. That's what's crazy. My head will never convince my gut. My gut will convince my head. Crazy. And the reason why is because my gut has a feeling. I still do the research. That's the convincing of the head. It's like, oh, well, it's got this, it's got this, it's got this, it's got this. Holy crap. That could happen. And then I start putting numbers on everything. What if? How much if I put this in? Now I'm doing the math. So my gut was right. With how I break things down, my gut was right. Excuse me. Because like I said, my gut will tell me something. I'll go do the research. I'll look, And then if I roll into doing math, done. Can aping into a coin ever be investing deliberately? No. Because aping means you didn't know about that coin. You're just following the pack. How is that investing deliberately? Because if you know about the coin, is it really aping? New coin, everybody's getting into it. What does that mean? What does that mean? I don't care what everybody else is doing. I get comments all the time. Oh, you're this, you're that. I could care less what everybody else thinks. I don't care about that. What are the numbers saying? What are the numbers saying? Aha. So if you're aping, you're definitely not investing deliberately. You're not investing. You're gambling. There's a difference. There's a massive difference. So yeah, we think about that. On my side of the fence, we think about that. There are all kinds of things that go into, how I deliberate things and how I look at things, how I shift my portfolios and all that stuff. And I don't just shift my portfolios. I don't just rebalance my portfolio. I make note of why. Why this move, this day? What was the research that went into it? You want to know why? Because I want to be able to look back and see, well, what drove that decision? Was that decision correct or incorrect? That helps hone my risk framework, my parameters of operation. See what I mean? Lex Luthor, I see what you're saying. I don't think facts. I try to go by facts. But facts can tell a different story depending on how you read them. So I do all kinds of math. And sometimes it's not my gut that came up with the idea. Sometimes I'm just looking around. Sometimes it's not everything is a gut decision. That's something else I want to say. Not everything else is a gut decision. I might just be looking around. I have a stack of what's going on. I've got an algorithm that tells me, hey, these are moving. And then I try to see, well, what's the sentiment on that? Why is it moving? Rumor mill, deal, news that nobody found out about yet. That's not going to hit for a couple of days, so load up and I make money. That's what I'm looking for. Had a gut feeling about, I'm not going to mention that because that particular one has been mentioned so many times that I can't trust it. Me personally, I can't trust it. I'm glad you made money off of it, but yeah, that was I have nothing against them. It just, my gut said, nope. Zebek? Yeah, nah. That was a nah for me. It wasn't enough for me to make a slot for them. Not enough at all. I probably will go do some research on Yak later, though, because that was a pearl that dropped. Or I might look up AVAX. I already have a bag of AVAX. Love AVAX. AVAX is going to be bigger in tokenization than people think. Really do think that. And back to an earlier comment. Remember, I firmly believe that there will be a culling of the herd. Right? That great, what did I call it? The great, I forgot the word. It was culling. It was something in culling, and I totally forgot it. And I'm having a long weekend, so I totally forgot it. But basically, you're gonna have the thinning of the herd of all these coins that are out here, and the only ones left standing are gonna be the ones that actually have something to do. To actually do something. People are playing around with meme coins right now. That's the gambling side. That's straight up gambling. But I firmly believe that we're going to see some real things happen. D-Mac, but did you though? You thought about it, but did you? So that's what I look at. Just what's going on. What happened last week that's going to make things move this week? First 2 weeks of September are never pretty. So I think about that. Not never, but normally the first 2 weeks of September are not pretty. Normally August is not pretty. We had a couple of things pop off for special reasons. That's it. That's it. The great consolidation and culling of the market. Because the market's going to consolidate. That's when you're going to see mergers and acquisitions. Culling is going to be when you just see things fall off the cliff. Just gone. Abandoned. Done. So I try to be careful with, what's out there. Lex Luthor, a lesson well learned, right? So we're not dwelling on the past, but that's what the Sunday Roundup is about. We're not going to dwell on the past, but we're sure as hell are going to use it to make better decisions moving forward, right? Yeah. And I'm like you. I mostly stick to blue chips. I mean, I have some long shots. I will definitely, have a couple of long shots. Not a problem with that. I have a few meme coins. Not a problem with that either. In my trading wallets. My hodling wallets? Hodling wallets are reserved for doers, right? Those projects, I think they're going to get it done. That have life, have feet, have a future ahead of them. Those are the ones that when I sprinkle, they always get their own. There's a separate sprinkle bucket for them. So when I DCA, there's a separate DCA budget for them, and everything else is kind of like, I'm still sprinkling, but this week it'll be this one, and that one over there. And the rest of you get nothing. Every week it's a different set that's getting the sprinkle. But over here, oh, that's different. Everybody gonna get a sprinkle over here. Everybody. Just saying. But looking at last week's numbers, we're looking at a lot of things that are going to affect the economy. Right now, we've got food prices going up. We have energy prices just exploding. So there are a lot of storms that are going on right now. That's why I keep saying there's a certain amount of good news that we must have. Not a little bit of good news here, a little bit of good news there. I mean, some good news. We need a lot of good news to get that momentum. ETFs are going to be good news here, good news there, good news here, good news there. But there's no direct impact from ETFs taking off because it winds up being OTC. No direct action on the exchanges. So that kind of maybe sort of possibly trickles in. And there's the difference. That's what I look at. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you like what we're doing. We are growing. We're growing big. Do you realize that I think it's over the past week? Over the past week, we grew over another 1,000 subscribers. It's because you guys are smashing the likes. You guys are sharing. You guys are talking about this community. You're active in the community. That's what's helping us grow. It's not just me sitting at some microphone, this one right here, running my mouth. That's not what it is. That's not what it is. It's all of us sharing thoughts and opinions about how we're thinking about things. And I have to say, 90 some odd % of the time, sticking to the topic. That's huge. You listen to these other people, yeah, they got a channel. No knocks on that. We have a community, a growing community. A growing community that will force each other to stop and think about what they're doing. Stop and ponder new ideas. Teach each other new things. That's not just me. That's all of us. That is all of us. Crypto Sticko, thank you, man. But our community grew 1,000 in a week. We just hit 20,000. Now we're at 21. Damn. I think we're doing it. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you enjoy what we're doing. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And as always, thank you for your trust. I will fight for that. I will fight to earn that every day. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.